Spoiler warning. If you haven't watched the show that we are discussing today and want to avoid spoilers, stop right there. Go binge and come on back. If you have or don't mind spoilers, sit back with your favorite drink and enjoy. We're live?
Kidding. This late at night? No way.
Never know,
We'll
actually.
live next time. Anyways, welcome back.
Hola. Sorry.
Nadia's tired today, so
I'm sleepy.
welcome back
Hi.
to another episode
Woot.
of Dragon Ball Z.
Huh.
Hope everyone's doing well.
Mm-hmm.
We are.
Yes, sir.
Baby's good.
Yep.
21 weeks.
Yep.
It's great.
Woohoo.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Nadia's excited, I think.
Thanks.
You're the one carrying the child, so I understand if you're just like meh, meh, meh.
I'm not there yet. Like before it was kind of like nauseous all the time, so it's kind of like, fuck, when is this gonna end? But now I'm kind of like, I'm fine. I just can't eat a lot. Like if I eat like one bite too much, it's like too much.
It's over.
Yeah. But I know like everyone's always like, the last trimester is gonna be the worst, and I'm like, you know,
I don't know.
you're
Can it be
growing
worse
a
than the first one?
you become uncomfortable.
Okay, but
Like your back, your feet, everything starts hurting, and but I'm just like,
no different.
I get like when you're sick and you just feel like garbage, but like shouldn't you try and enjoy your pregnancy? You're growing this human child alien thing in you. Like enjoy the process as much as sometimes it does suck.
Yeah.
Like it's just cool knowing like
there's
in 9 months technically you're birthing a baby and
you seen the ultrasound for the first time, first time, second time. So the last
I was
ultrasound I
gonna
went in,
cry.
it was crazy cool.
Yeah,
It was so cool. It was so weird. Anyways. Enough of that. Hope everyone's doing well.
Yeah.
You're doing good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sleepy and full.
Sleepy and full. I ate well. Now you want to go
I
to
didn't
bed.
even eat anything.
I know. You ate pretty well. You had one fajita thingy.
Yeah.
So yeah, been lacking on the social media. My apologies. I get no help from this one over here. Don't give me excuse of pregnancy because you weren't helping before. Anyway, so not even reminders. Speaking of reminders, my alarm didn't go off this morning either. I woke up before my alarm. I watched it.
You watched it?
I watched my alarm.
Maybe set a new one?
I think I'd have to. I think I have to maybe switch something in it, but I watched it. It didn't go off.
Weird. I didn't hear
5
you this
minutes.
morning.
5 minutes later, missed your alarm. Well, it didn't go off.
It's good you don't work out of the house because you'd be screwed.
Oh man, yeah. Because I have to wake up at 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck that shit.
Ew.
So today
Woot.
I'm doing one of my favorites.
I like it.
Yeah, I think it's a great show. I love
Yeah.
the show. I like playing this on repeat.
Mm-hmm.
And the actors in it are really great because you get to see a different side of the actors, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So weightlifting fairy Kim Bok-joo.
Woohoo!
You get to see Lee Sung-kyung as Kim Bok-joo,
Mm-hmm.
a really different
I like her.
side.
She's
Yeah, she's really that's in my head. That's what I see her as.
They make her look very boyish. It's funny.
Yeah, because they're supposed to make her look bigger and stronger, but also kind of I do this because sometimes she's just walking. She's look when she's eating. She's just like this.
She's so happy she's eating.
Yeah, and very very different from her character from Cheese in the Trap.
Yeah. That's
Oh
true.
my god, the psycho sister.
Yeah.
And then you have Namju Hyuk, right? Who actually is similar to his character in School 2015, where he plays a swimmer as well. I found that pretty funny. But he very different from his character in Bride of the Water God. Because in Bride of the Water God, it's I am Habek, I am the Almighty, you bow down to me. Whereas in this one, he's like, Kim Bok-joo. And he just runs around chasing after her all the time, right? And then you have his brother, technically his cousin, but his brother, who's played by Lee Jae-yoon, right? Lee Jae-yoon, who in this one very like nice tool for literally the the description of nice to a fault, like good to a fault. Like he's so oblivious to things. He's just nice. He's just genuinely a nice person. And very opposite to the character he plays in what's the show called? Hold on. There's another show where he's just an asshole. Revolutionary Love. Okay, because I started that. I watched the first few episodes, but I stopped because I wanted to watch it with you because it's with your husband, Choi Siwon.
Which one?
Yeah, which one? Choi Siwon from Super Junior.
Didn't we start that?
We started it. We never got the. But I want to restart it. So he's an asshole in that. So in the first few episodes, you see right away he's a piece of shit asshole. Okay, anyway, sorry.
Because we started it like right after the show with what's his face. Because Siwon was in that show.
Yeah, she was pretty.
Yeah, she was pretty, and then it wasn't the same character.
It was completely different.
And it like really made me sad because I'm like, I just wanted to see him be that character again.
Obviously he's not the same character.
I know,
but there was another show. There was another show going on at the same time. That's why we stopped watching it, right?
It was so good.
So
such a great character in that.
Yeah, and then you have his other character in another Miss O, the one where there's like the guy, the same girl with the same name.
Oh right.
I'll mess up. So he's like different from that character too, where that guy's like a nice guy, but bad shit happens to him, so he kind of just
And then what's her face from 81 class? I like her.
Oh yeah, Lee Ju Young. She was really good in this one, and I'm really glad when she was in 81 class. I was really surprised. I was like, yeah, she deserves it.
She's cool. I like her character because it was like different. Yeah, like obviously she's a female in real life. Which kind of like if it was an American show, people would probably get butthurt because technically she plays a transgender.
In this one?
In Itaewon Class.
In Itaewon, she's transgender.
Yeah, so like she's a female playing a transgender. So like here they would get mad at it because like.
But over there, like in the Korean culture, it's a little harder for that stuff.
Bending boundaries.
Yeah.
But it's cool because like they're bringing it in, so it's like they place these things subtly, and it's like shit.
Yeah, I don't know if that was really subtle, but that was
clever.
That was really good. And then you have Kyung Soo-jin, who plays the ex-girlfriend, bitchy ex-girlfriend.
I like her.
I like her too. I like she's a bitch in this one. But
she plays this really well, and like
really well.
You kind of feel bad for her too.
Exactly, but you're just like, he doesn't want to be with you, just move on, kind of thing. Yeah. She was in Train, and I loved her in Train. And then you have a crazy ass cast here. Kang Ki-young, our Mr. Funny Man, who plays her uncle.
Love him.
Yeah. He's in like.
He's my favorite.
Yeah, he's my favorit too. I think that's our mutual like number one favorite of all time. So it's a great show. It's about Kim Bok-joo, who's a weightlifter. She's in college for weightlifting. Literally they call it the weightlifting fairy, right? Oh, just explain.
Okay,
not saying it to you and saying it to them. Like, yeah, exactly. And then Nam Joo-hyuk, who plays Joo-hyung, Joon Hyung, who is a swimmer. They're both Olympic athletes in college.
Yeah.
They were friends in
I don't think they were Olympic athletes at that point. I think they were becoming Olympic.
They're in college trying to become Olympic athletes. Sorry, let me rephrase that for some people who like to misinterpret what I say all the time. I'm just kidding. And then
isn't that what wives are supposed to do?
Quiet down now. And then the ex-girlfriend is a gymnast. Yeah. The rhythmic gymnastics.
Hard shit, yo.
So yeah.
I feel I'm not
doing it, and I'm like,
I think I have to say that I think gymnastics is harder than weightlifting. Like weightlifting is like fairly, well, obviously I don't know, like I could be completely wrong, but it's like fairly straightforward. Yeah. You're lifting weights and training and endurance and whatever, and maybe cardio, but like gymnastics is just like
because there's I think it is more straightforward, but obviously there's also technique and all that stuff. But I think the reason why it's more straightforward is because there's less movement involved compared to gymnastics. Whereas gymnastics, you're really trying to. You're
not allowed to eat.
Well, you have techniques for different movements. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Whereas in weightlifting, depending on what type of weightlifting you're doing, you have a specific technique you're going with for that specific weightlifting. Exactly. So if you're doing, you know what I mean, like
Your
like
feet
the
go
main,
this
yeah,
way,
you
your
do
hands go
that-
this
that-
way, and your body goes this way.
Yeah. So you're doing that specific technique.
Yeah.
Whereas gymnastics, you're doing, okay, if you're doing the ribbon, you gotta be able to do, you know, I don't know gymnastics, right? But like whenever you're doing your te saute and then all that stuff and your pirouettes and stuff, you have to do.
Like how you know some moves.
It's French. I know. So you have specific
Secretly
techniques.
Gymnastic person.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do it, but like I never did it.
Sorry, your body doesn't bend that way.
I used to. I used to be really flexible as a kid. That's why.
Okay.
So you have specific techniques for each single one of those moves.
Yeah.
So it's really like, so it's college life for them, for the three of them. So Ji Hyung's ex-girlfriend is Chiho. Okay. And so they broke up before we start the show. Yeah. Right.
Where does she go again? She left somewhere.
She went to
Olympics or like to another program.
No, it was I don't know if it was Olympics, but it was a tournament competition type of thing where they go to, so she was gone and she came back, and when she came back, Joo Hyung and Bokju reunited after being separated from elementary school. And he had a crush on her in elementary school because she saved his life. Yeah. After falling out the window, kids pushed him out. Fucking little shits.
If people really like, I always wonder like if like in Korea, the way that they show bullying in the shows is how excessive it is in
I
real
really
life.
hope not. That's fucking scary.
Like I'm gonna just push a child out of the window. Like
it's like a lot of
you're psycho.
Physical, yeah. It's really
like,
scary.
You should go to jail and be in jail until you're old and decrepit.
Right.
Yeah,
it's fucked. So they're trying to they're put like aspiring Olympic athletes in college trying to live their life, right? Trying to do what they do, trying to have a social life as well as trying to become, you know what I mean, starting roster in the Olympics for their country. Yeah. So the show has a lot, like it is a romantic comedy, obviously. It's not anything that's like groundbreaking, right? It's just really cute, straightforward type of show, but it shows a lot of the pressures of Olympic, oh my god, college athletes, even like young athletes, because what she goes through as a weightlifter, the shit that she has to deal with when she so she falls in, she pretty much has a crush on his brother, so Joon Hyung's brother, and so she would go to her brother's a doctor at the weight loss clinic, and she would go there to see him, not to lose weight, just to see him, right? It's pure puppy love. Her first crush, she's never even been, right? So she's doing stuff out of the ordinary, which is fine. Now the people around her in her like weightlifting don't really like that. So when they find out that she's been going there, she gets shat on. Yeah. But the problem is, this is where like her dilemma comes in, where she's like, do I really want to continue doing this if this is how it's going to be? Yeah. Right. Can I not have a life as a 20-year-old girl? Right? Which
is understandable. Like if you've been doing this for the last 5 years or so. Yeah. Like practicing weightlifting and stuff. It like a lot of gymnasts who are supposed to be Olympic athletes eventually drop out because it's hard. Like it's you're dedicating your entire life. You're at the gym for 7 hours a day. Yeah. Training, and it's hard on your mind, body, soul, life. You know?
Exactly. And that's where
that goes with all sports. Sorry, not just gymnasts.
Yeah, all sports. Like literally, it's tough because that's one of the reasons why I didn't go into competitive volleyball. Because we were like in high school when I was playing volleyball, we were practicing mornings, and then during the day, because we had volleyball, we had a class of volleyball, and then we had games after school, tournaments every so often on the weekends. So, but a couple of my friends that were on the team were competitive volleyball players. They played for competitive teams. So they're like, after, we'll say we had a game on Wednesday, and then we had practice the Thursday morning. They had practice Thursday morning at school, but then they had practice Thursday night at their competitiveness. Isn't that a bit
excessive?
And then, you know what I mean?
Like
they
for them, always, like, shouldn't they just do one?
What do you mean?
Like,
for who?
Like for the competitive, like if
no, because they're playing games. It's like a season. They're playing a season, right? So they got to train all the time. So I guess like them being on the school team is kind of like training. Them being on the school team is them getting as much playing time as possible, right? And that's where it's like you're playing volleyball pretty much 6 days out of the 7 days a week, right? And that's what it is. That's what it is, like professional athletes. It's like you're training. You train like 3-4 days a week. You have a game maybe twice a week. You get like a day off here, day off there, maybe kind of thing, right? So it takes its toll. And someone who's for someone like Kim Bok-ju, who's finally discovering, you know what I mean, other things, boys, you know what I mean, like not even just boys, but like just a social life outside of weightlifting, you know what I mean, like, and not even just with his brother, but with him as well, with Joon Hyung, because she's always like calling him, talking to him, whatever. And it's like what she gets in the end, it's like, well, no, you're an athlete, you do it, don't do anything else, this is your punishment. And it's like, well, this is causing this is causing more stress on the athlete, on the kid. And not only is it just stress on the kid, it's like you're demoralizing the kid, because you're not you're punishing them for being trying to have a normal life. But I think the thing, once you get into the college, like they probably warn you, like you don't have a life. Like your friends are the people that you work out with on a daily basis, and that's about it. Especially for them, like they work out together, they eat together, they room together, like it's the same people day in and day out. I don't think they warn you. 100% they don't warn you. They don't tell you shit. They just tell you, your life is going to be this, and that's it. Your parents should be telling you, okay, this is what it's going to be like. But I guess parents don't really know. But like the thing is, like if you start dating another Olympic athlete, you guys understand the pressure and like the lifestyle, the lifestyle and the demands that it calls for. So it's like, okay, yeah, we're dating, but we also are dedicated to our sports. So I was just throwing words in there. I didn't know if you were. I didn't know what words you were looking for, so I just threw whatever came to my mind. But you're all so like you understand. Yeah. No, the time and the amount of time that it. Yeah. So when she starts, today, well, you're like falling asleep right now. So when her and Joon Hyung start to like get together, you see he starts to better himself as an athlete, because like we'll get into his whole thing in a minute. And he becomes happier when she's around, right? Yeah. Even before they start dating, but later on when they start dating, it's better, right? Because he has someone to like spend time with, you know? Yeah, and like and for her, it helped her. So when she was like having that dilemma where she's like, I don't want to be an athlete anymore, I don't know what I want to do. He helped her through that. And then they started he started to like show that he liked her, and then she finds out, he like confesses to her and all that stuff, and she kind of like realizes, as like he's trying to like comfort and whatever, that weightlifting is what she wanted to do, like that's what she wanted to do, and she wants to continue doing it. So that, like, their relationship together, just as friends, just as friends, because they understand each other, and he understands what it is that she's going through. So he tries to be there for her, try to comfort her and whatever. Whereas, so that's where she comes back and she's like, yeah, okay, I'm ready to do this. Whereas in my opinion, what the coaches were doing were completely opposite and just demoralizing her the entire time.
And like forcing her to do these things.
Yeah.
Like watching her eat.
Yeah. And like, oh yeah, you have to eat more because we're going to put you up a weight class. That's what, okay. So there's another thing that really pissed me off about with Kim Bok-joo is that they decided she won the gold medal in her weight class. And they're like, oh, if she goes up a weight class, she'll have less competition and she's more likely going to win.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I don't like, and I feel like this is probably like in Korea, like here, this doesn't like, actually probably even here it probably does this, but they talk to the parent.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, we think that she should go up a weight class. And he's like, well, I don't know, but I think if you think that's the right thing to do, we should do it. And so they pretty much kind of put in her mind, you need to go up a weight class.
I think it's more here. I think when they're younger, they consult the parents and they should be speaking to the child as well. It's
funny because like I've read stuff where it's like a lot of the times the parent is the athlete's manager or like and whatnot, so they always have to talk to the parent, and I don't like that, in my opinion.
It's like toddlers and tiaras.
Yeah. And I personally don't. I personally would not. I would not have any of my parents or my siblings as my manager. In my opinion, I would prefer.
But when you're younger, your parents don't want to pay, right? You're already paying for training.
It's not even.
Because you have to for most gyms, you have to pay into the gym too.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm saying. Where it's like you don't like when you have a manager, like let's say like Messi for PSG, not Barcelona anymore. His dad's his manager, and
still?
There's a couple. Yeah, he's still his manager, and there's a lot of other athletes too where their father is their manager, and I personally don't think that's the smartest thing to do, because if they don't know the profession of a manager, of an athlete's manager, because there's a lot to it, I don't think they would do things properly. In my opinion, they will look out to the interest of themselves rather than the interest of the of their kid. You know what I mean? They're like, okay, I think this is better for my kid, but in reality, what do you really think?
Well, it's like, look at all the music industry kid. Like, I don't know a lot about sports, so I can't really refer to that. But like, if you look at music industry, like Nick Carter.
Oh, that's right.
And like whatever, and Aaron Carter, their mom was their manager, and
look how that turned out.
She took everything.
Look how that turned out, right? Yeah. You see? So I don't like if Zach were to like become a professional volleyball player, I'm not gonna be his manager. I'm gonna find him a manager.
I think you start off being their manager just to like get them started.
Yeah,
but then like once they get a bit bigger, like past that step, it's like just get someone that knows what they're talking about, knows the deals, and has.
Usually what happens is a manager comes in and will scout. Right, they have scouts, so the manager will scout the player and
before the team or like
before the team, they'll be
so
like,
I'm claiming you before you became popular.
They look for future talent.
Yeah.
So they look, okay, this guy's gonna be amazing. So they go approach the parent, all your blah blah blah, your kids, like, let me manage the kid, I'll get him contracts and whatever.
Yeah.
And that's where, you know what I mean? That's where if you have a good agent, like a good manager, it's great. If you have a bad manager, you gotta watch out.
Be careful, right?
Oh yeah.
Like always. Sometimes these managers are sneaky little shits and take all your money and don't give you anything. Like
that's why you have to have your own lawyer.
Yeah.
I would honestly suggest you get yourself a manager, but get your own lawyer that's not associated with that manager.
Yeah.
So then that your lawyer can go over all the fucking documentation afterwards.
Like lawyer, you're paying them, and they have technically they would have your best interest.
Excuse me.
And not the manager's best interest.
Exactly.
Right?
And then they would, it's like client confidentiality.
Yeah.
They're bound by law at that point. So they can't go, like the manager can't be like, oh, what's he can't do that, or you can like sue them both and they'll get fucked.
Well, even as a lawyer, like if you're representing both, you shouldn't be able, like the manager still shouldn't be able to go, oh yeah, like what's.
Well, the lawyer, so the lawyer is there to it's so there's a lot of paperwork, right, for contracts. So the manager most likely has a lawyer that they go to for the contract to look it over for everything.
Yeah. No,
I would personally get a different lawyer, your own lawyer, to go over the contract before, right?
Yeah, because fine print,
exactly. Watch out for the fine print. Yeah, just like fucking America's Got Talent. Canada's Got Talent.
That's
Scary fucking contract. So, that was a big thing. It's like you're forcing her to do something without really her consent yet. And before you can get like really talk to her about it, you really force it upon her. Where like,
well, she's 20 years old, right?
Yeah. So it's like, you have to do this now because you fucked up and you were going to a weight clinic. You shouldn't be doing that. You're going up a class. That's it. Start eating.
Didn't she like not really lose any weight anyways? She just kind of stayed.
Yeah. She kind of like, she would like, before like, she would like try not to eat too much and go to the clinic.
Yeah. And
he'd be like, oh, like lost like half a pound.
Yeah.
And then like the next day she ate too much and she'd go back to the clinic and be like, why'd you gain weight? Where's the 3 pounds come from? So
that's funny because what you have to eat, is it 3,000 calories a day to gain a pound technically?
Yeah, you have to, I think, weightlifters have to eat.
But like just 3,000, like if you eat 3,000 calories a day, that you gain a pound.
Yeah.
So like they ate like in the show savagely. So it's like,
man, and they had like a whole like formula to do it. Like you eat this first, then this, and then this, and then this, and you're like.
But then you also like you add in like you're working out and stuff. Like weightlifting does burn a lot of like
you're
calories
constantly
and
training
stuff,
and
but
stuff.
It's just like it's nuts.
I think I watched the YouTube video. It's that weightlifter and his wife. They swapped diets.
Oh yeah. It was like the Beast or something.
Yeah. And like they swapped diets, and he's like, "The fuck am I eating? This isn't like," and she has to eat. Oh my god, he's dying because he's like starving, and she's like dying.
She's too much food.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Man, that guy ate so much.
But like, so at the time that video was taken, he wasn't even eating at his heaviest.
So that's just like an average day.
His average.
Just to maintain
his weight.
Wow.
Because he was saying like he used to eat a lot more.
Yeah.
And like he was saying that he used to like I think they had like fajitas one day at night, and like he's like, I usually eat like 10 fajitas.
Yeah. And she's like she's struggling with one.
Yeah.
And he's like, come on, there's 9 more.
Tiny. Like I think she also is she's fit, but like she just doesn't eat that much. Yeah. Like he drank like.
I'm gonna put a link to in the description down below for this video. You guys should watch this. It's really good.
It's crazy. But it just kind of puts things in perspective, like how a weightlifter eats, like because he's he's like the people
he's like
that kind of like
power lifter or something like that.
Yeah, he's like a power lifter, so he's those type of people that like pull the trucks at like fairs and shit.
He's massive.
I think he actually does better things than that, but like
my body is the size of his arm.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, so that's what I wasn't fond of the forcing, like the not so subtle way of forcing her to up a weight class. And it's like that's a lot to take on the body, especially if you're not like mentally prepared.
Do you remember how much she had to gain? I don't remember.
She had to gain,
was it like 5-10 pounds?
I think like no, they were going in kilos, so 5-10 kilos.
10 kilos?
5 to 10 kilos, somewhere around that. I'll check it out after.
It's
but
10 kilos,
I think like between 5 and like she had to go up a weight class, so it's like.
I thought weight classes were only a few pounds.
Well, it depends where you are in the weight class, right? So if you're like, say the weight class is like 45 to 55 kilos, and you're 45 kilos, and you're like, oh yeah, you got to go up a weight class, and that's between 55 and 65 kilos. You got to gain 11 kilos even then to get into the next weight class, right? Because you're at the bottom of the weight class. So it depends on how heavy you are and where you are in that weight class. Yeah. Well, she was saying, oh yeah, when after the third time that she like she got in shit with the coaches because she wasn't training when she was supposed to be. She's like, if you don't gain, I think 2 kilos per day, or was it 1.5 kilos or 2 kilos per day? She's like, you're I think she was like, what did she say? She's gonna oh my god.
Yo, is that?
She was gonna like watch. She was like, I'm gonna stick to you morning and night.
So first of all, is that physically possible, and is that healthy?
I don't know. And that's why I was like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they kind of just like forced it. And I was thinking, like, you need to like, and like, if any weightlifters, God knows if you guys actually watch our show, if you, please let us know if I'm correct or not. You need to be not only physically prepared, right? Because you gotta like, you're upping your intake of calories.
Yeah.
Okay, but you gotta be mentally prepared to be able to eat more and gain that weight and be able to follow through with it, right? And then emotionally, because you are gaining, you're changing your body even more, and you're taking a lot more stress onto your body, right?
That's
so it's not just like
though.
you gotta go up, you gotta gain fucking 5 kilos. You gotta gain 10 pounds in the next fucking like what 10 weeks. We'll say. I was like,
That's a lot.
You don't eat a lot, and then you're like, well, I got to eat more now, but I can barely eat now, right? So it's like there's a lot of a lot of
those times, like those type of people will go to the unhealthy version. I hope not, 'cause I could be wrong, but like
yeah, like fast food.
Because wouldn't they have like nutritionists and
they would need to.
Like they would have to consult a nutritionist to even see if it was possible.
Yeah. I feel like that's where, other departments should come in, where there are other students from like the, like you said, like nutritional department, like the.
Ooh, you know what would have been so good to have in that show. Well, not in the show, but like they could probably already do have it. But like you have nutritionist people come in, like students.
That's what I'm saying. Like if the department from another department and they come in and they help. That's what.
No. Like you have, so like in your school you have a nutritionist course. Yes. And like, okay.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
And then like the students are like
from a different department coming into their department and helping the students.
Yeah.
And
it's students helping students, and like each person, like each student can kind of like, okay, these students are doing the nutrition for all the swimmers. These students are doing nutrition for all the gymnasts. Yeah, like wouldn't that be so cool? Because they get like, that would have been cool. Real experience.
That would have been that would have been smart. Actually, we had to do that when I was in college for script writing. We had to work with library tech students, and I was telling them that I worked in the library, and like I already
library tech
because they had to do research. They had to do research for your script.
Okay.
And I'm like, I told my teacher, I'm like, can I just do this on my own, because this is what I do this at work.
Yeah.
What you want me to do with the library tech student is what I actually do as my day job.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, you have to work. You have to work with another student. It's like, I work at a fucking library.
You know what's really funny? I think it's really funny that people still go into like library tech.
Oh yeah, a lot of people. You know what's funny? Okay, what's funny is knowing, because because I know. What's funny is that, library tech, that's great. You want to go into it, that's awesome. You want to go work in a library, that's perfect. My advice to you is, if you want to work in a library as whatever, do your library tech, but go and do your master's in library information sciences.
Why? Because
you will not move up past the public service assistant.
Really?
With a library tech degree anymore.
Wow.
You will not move anywhere from there. If you have your library information sciences or whatever degree, your master's, you will run the fucking place. Okay. So my advice is, if you really want to, go to, I think Ottawa is accredited now. Go to Western.
Was it not before?
No, it wasn't. It didn't get accredited until 2015, 2014, 2015. It takes a long time for a school to get accredited for something. So everybody would go to Western in London, Ontario. And then come back to Ottawa and work. So advice, go and get your master's in library information sciences if you want to work in a library.
I'm curious to know, because what do you?
Yeah,
anyways,
I don't know. I don't know. I know there's cataloging, of course, for cataloging, so you have to learn how to catalog, and it's a lot of databasing. It was literally a databasing course, but geared towards library. There's a purchasing and purchasing course, learning how to what to purchase, when to purchase, and like a whole thing like history of libraries and all that. I know there's like bits and pieces like that. Anyways, back to the matter at hand.
Let's talk about him.
So Joon Hyung is a swimmer.
Yeah.
And he's like apparently like the prospect, like top prospect swimmer. Yeah. The only issue is like he's having issues with his false starts.
Yeah.
And so that stems from his trauma that which I honestly am really surprised with the show, which really like impressed me, is that he has an issue, a trauma from childhood that's been causing this to happen. He actually went to see a therapist. No other show that I've watched where the person with a trauma goes and sees a therapist.
Athletes have to, especially when they have like performance anxiety.
Yeah,
like
it makes sense. It makes sense. 100%, I agree. Because like you can't perform. You're not. You're literally. I'm sorry to say, you're nothing without being able to perform what you do best. Right. Yeah. You are the best at this, but you can't do it. You go talk to somebody. So he goes and sees. He goes to see a therapist. So I
like the therapist. He's cool.
Yeah, he's so good.
He's like such a chill therapist.
Yeah, he was so good.
Therapist.
He was so. His trauma stems from abandonment.
Yeah.
Of from his mother. And so that's why he likes the water so much, is that he can go into the water, he's by himself, and he can escape.
And everything's gone.
But it really messed with his head, because the abandonment didn't affect him. Okay, this is the explanation. I'll explain why it only started recently. See, the abandonment didn't really, like it. Obviously, it bothered him. Obviously, it had but it didn't affect his performance until recently in the show, like until right before the show started, because he was fine until he found out that the letters and gifts that he was getting from his mom
were actually from his
aunt and his uncle. Yeah. And so that's where the performance anxiety started coming from, because it started to put more and more stress on him, and he started freaking out because he didn't know, do I confront them? Do I not? Do I just let them, you know what I mean? Let them do it, pretend like I don't know and all that shit. So it really more. And it put so much pressure on him to just continue to do what he does. Yeah. And when you put so much pressure on somebody like that, they can't.
Yeah.
Right. And
I think that whole thing came from like a good place. Like they meant well when they did that, because like they wanted him to. Yeah,
I think and so he gets over his trauma. Okay, this is something actually I was thinking about a lot when I was while we were doing other episodes. I was thinking about this a lot, rewatching the show. So in the end, he forgives his mom.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, me personally, hot-headed that I am, it ain't gonna fly with me. You abandon me, then you go and have another family in another country, and you just come back for money. No. That doesn't work. But
that seems to be like the thing in all these shows, though. So I wonder if that happens a lot.
I hope not. I really hope not, because like, it's not fair. It's like you literally. So his mom left him with her brother and her sister-in-law. Yeah. Okay. And she dipped. Yeah. She left to get remarried to another man because he didn't want her son. He just wanted her. So she's like, okay, bye. Like, fuck you, bitch. Yeah. You just leave your son? That's not a fucking mother. Like, what's wrong with you? So she dips. She goes to Canada. Comes to Canada. Comes to Canada. And lives a whole new life with her new husband. And then this kid grows up with his aunt and uncle, who are his mom and dad, right? He calls them mom and dad. That's who raises him, right?
And like, honestly, he's lucky. They're great people.
Exactly. So one of the things that bothered him, so she comes back, and then they have a little whatever moment, and whatnot. But then he finds out that she literally only came back because her kid is sick.
Yeah.
And they need money for medical bills. Now,
what?
So we have universal healthcare in Canada
to a certain degree.
Obviously to a certain degree, but it's free healthcare technically.
For most things.
So I think the reason why she has to pay is because she's not a Canadian citizen yet.
But if the dad is,
I don't think he is either. I think they just like got married in Korea and they just dipped, right?
Don't do that shit.
I think that was the issue. But if she's, oh no, she hasn't hit 10 years yet, so she can't be a Canadian. No. I'll get back to you on that. So, because it differs in every country how to become a citizen, right? So once you become a citizen, you can get your old HIP card. In Ontario, you get your old HIP card, and then you get free healthcare and whatever. I don't know how it is actually in Vancouver and how the process is, because that's where she was. She was in Vancouver in the show.
Isn't it easier? Like, cause
I don't know. I actually have no idea. I don't really like.
They don't have.
I don't really like mess with the West.
A V-hip.
A V-hip. You're such a. So she comes back.
We know this about our own country.
I know, right? I know Quebec, I know Ontario, I
don't even know Quebec.
No, I know Quebec because I was born there and my sister lives there. Like,
yo, you were born there and then you came right here.
I know, but my parents lived there, so I understand it. Man, you're so rude.
I know.
So she came back. So the mom came back only because she needed money because her daughter was sick.
Yeah.
If her daughter wasn't sick,
she never would come back.
She would never come back.
Yeah.
Or she would never have even like. Yeah. Right. So, what does that say about the person? First of all,
you suck.
So.
Like.
Yeah. Exactly.
You suck as a person.
That,
like.
Yeah.
What's gonna like? What makes this person not run away from the family that they have now to someone else?
Exactly. So. She comes back. Whatever. So. So Kim Bok-joo helps him kind of like come to terms and like
navigate it a bit.
Yeah, exactly. And this is where I'm going to explain to people, this shit doesn't happen as quick as it does in the show.
No.
In the show, it took like 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Okay, was I think it was like 2 days.
Yeah.
In real life, if you're abandoned by your parent and then they come back, sometimes some people
can come to terms with
excluding Joon Hyung because he had some issues, but like some people have been like they want that parent, right? They're always thinking about that parent to the point where when the parent comes back, they automatically go, oh, that's my mom. Yeah. That's it. That's my mom. I think them.
The whole thing is like, why did they leave me? What did I do wrong?
Yeah. But that's the thing, like some people don't even fucking care about that, where it's like the parent came back, or in their mind they're always like, oh, my mom's gonna come back from 10 years, 20 years later, oh yeah, she came back, oh yeah, it's my mom, that's it, it's over. They don't want to go into depth of like they left you there to rot and die. In Joon Hyung's case,
it's kind of like Vincenzo.
Yeah, so the Vincenzo, his mom left him with the orphanage because she was dying.
Yeah,
and then she didn't want to leave him alone because she was like the only family he had left, right?
And like she wasn't. I think didn't she go? Like
she tried to. So when she got better and found out she was like cleared of the cancer, she went back. Yeah, she went back to try and find him, but he was already adopted, and they changed his name entirely, right? So she didn't even know where he was. And obviously with the limited amount of money that you have no resources, so much, right? Yeah. So with Joon Hyung in this show, most of his life he was led to believe that he was getting cards from his mom.
It's like, oh, she still loves me. She still cares about me.
Right. And then he finds out, no, it wasn't that. It wasn't her. She doesn't give a fuck about him, whatever. So this work that you have to do to like come to terms with your abandonment takes more than a couple days. Yeah. It takes a lot of time because you have to first of all get over the fact that it's not your fault. Okay? It's not you. That you're not the one that made them abandon you. You have no control over that person's feelings or emotions or their reactions and actions.
Yeah.
It's solely on them, on their reasoning on abandoning you. It's not you, has nothing to do with you.
They suck.
Right.
Essentially.
Right. And like just getting through that, just that little just that little bit, just that one question, right? Is a lot it takes a long time to like really like, because every like that abandonment is like, oh, what did I do wrong, right? Like you're saying, what did I do wrong? But you didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with you.
But he's also very lucky that he had a therapist and a girl that was helping him through it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the therapist really helped, and then Kim Bok-joo really helped, right?
You don't always need like people to help you. Some people can get through it by themselves, which is honestly so amazing.
Yeah,
I would love to have a therapist because
a therapist like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many issues.
Yeah, and then you have like, so it's like, why did she abandon me?
Yeah.
Right. What did I do wrong? And then like, the bigger question is like, do they actually love me? You know what I mean? Does my mother actually love me, even though she abandoned me for somebody else? Right. That's a huge fucking thing, right?
Like, do they like maybe like deep down, like they still care?
Like,
but did they actually ever love you if they're able to just leave you behind?
That's exactly what. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Like,
or are you just a narcissistic person, and you want whatever you want, and you're gonna get it. You're gonna go after it and leave behind or run over anyone that gets in your way. And
that leads to the next question. After you come to terms, okay, it wasn't my fault. Okay, why did she if she loved me, why did she abandon me? Right? If she actually loved me, why would she abandon me? Did she love herself more? Am I even like, would she even consider me? You know what I mean? Like it's such a, there's so much work to do just to be able to be like, okay, I forgive you for what you did.
It's
right?
like, if I went to Canada and went after her, would she like take me in, kind of thing?
Right. Like, if I came to find her, would she like try and like avoid me? Would she accept me for coming to find her? Or would she actually introduce me to her family, her new family that apparently is more important than I am? You know what I mean? So there's so much work to do. So he does it in 2 days. Okay.
I think he's lucky too. He has such a great support system, like his parents, his girlfriend, therapist, his brother.
Yeah, he had a great support system. That's an important thing too for people with trauma. Like, that's your support system is really key, regardless of if you actually talk to them or open up to them. As long as they're there, as long as you receive the love from somewhere, you know what I mean? Like, that's key. That is absolutely key. So, okay. So you having fun there?
Yeah.
So he does that in 2 days, which I'm going to tell everybody, it doesn't take 2 days. It doesn't take, it takes a long time. It takes long time, but it'll, like, if you really work at it, it'll happen. And like, he shows it, like, he does it. Yeah. Like, it's always like, good days and bad days. Yeah. It's okay. So, like, work at it, do what you need to do, do you before anything else. Yeah. Right.
But remember, so there's this whole thing going around. It's like, you have to learn to love yourself before you can love anyone else. I think that's wrong.
Because love yourself before you love anyone else? You
have to learn to love yourself before you love anyone else. And I think it's wrong because, so for me, I'm still not, whatever. I think this is my personal experience. I think you have to, like, for him too, like, he went through a period where he hated himself, right? For like a day. in the show.
No, like if you really pay attention to the show, you'll see like when you see him by himself or like when he's in the water, he's really always like broody. Like he's always like hard on himself. If you pay attention.
I do.
No, you. I'm just saying in general. Thanks. Like if you pay attention.
But I think some people, and this is my personal experience, I needed someone because yes, I had a family and that loved me, but for me, I'm a very like I need that constant attention and the constant affection, the constant like reassurance, and that's just from my personal traumas. Like that's just shit that happened to me, and I know that, and I feel like for like once we met, you were able to give that to me. So that helped me grow as a person as much as like it probably shouldn't. But like I was able to get what I needed from you, and I was able to realize that a lot of the things that happened and a lot of the things that I was going through weren't necessarily my fault.
Exactly.
And that was like how I grew as a person, how I became more...
Poor choices happen, and it's not your fault that the things that happened to you were not because you chose those things to happen to you.
Exactly.
Okay, so the way I'll word it for you then, instead of it's you have to learn to accept love to be able to learn to love yourself.
Makes sense.
Better?
Yeah.
Because once
public speaking, here we come.
So once Joon Hyung realized he was in love with Bokju.
Yeah.
He
I love puppy love, by the way.
He decided, like, you can see he accepted.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The love. So with his family, he accepted their love.
Yeah.
Right? He accepted, like, after, like, the big blowout and all that stuff.
Yeah, because
he accepts love from his mom, from his dad.
Because they had a talk, right?
Yeah,
and it's like we're like, he confronted them finally, and it's like, I'm sorry that we did this to you, and I understand that it hurt your like, now that you know, like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like him and his mom are so cute together.
Yeah,
because like
it's like you and your mom.
Yeah,
it's so cute.
It's really cute because it's like he felt bad. Because he felt terrible, because like it's the person who raised him.
Yeah, and she really loves him.
Yeah, and
like she never held any grudge against him for not being like her child.
Yeah, and with his brother, it was like, just yell at me. You know what I mean? Like, just fucking yell at me, hit me, do some things, get angry at me. Like, you just let me do whatever the fuck I want, and I gotta you just let me get away with whatever. I don't feel like that's a sibling relationship. And so his brother, they had it, whatever, and his brother. So he hit his brother, and he's like, what's wrong? Why would you do that? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And he's like, oh, was that okay? Did I get mad enough for you? So he learned to accept their love.
Yeah.
Okay. Which in turn helps him accept the love from others, right? Which in turn let him accept, like, to love. Yeah. Right? So once he learned himself, exactly. Yeah. And that way he was able to move forward and forgive his mother for abandoning him, because if and this is the shitty part, guys, I know this sucks, but some shit does happen for a reason, and the reason why his mom fucking abandoned him was for him to actually learn real love, because obviously his mom didn't actually fucking give a shit about him. Because in the end,
he probably wouldn't have achieved as much as he achieved if she was still there, right?
He wouldn't have received the amount of love and attention that he got from his parents, right? So
it was great.
He accepted that and then moved forward with it and was like, okay, mom in name. Yeah. Can I see my sister? Can I see my picture of my sister? You know what I mean? Like, he accepts the fact that, which is, again, that takes time.
It takes a lot of
long time, right? And like, for him, it's like an accumulation of shit that happened throughout his life, and we just get like a snippet, right?
Yeah.
We get that little snippet in the show. So he probably went through a lot more than what we know, but we get that little snippet and kind of analyze it from there.
Fast forward everything, right?
There's really cool. So there's another. Okay, so we can talk about the ex-girlfriend, but I don't really want to talk about the ex-girlfriend. Like I do,
that's fine.
But it's like not really. The only issue is that like she needs to fucking chill. So if you fucking break up with somebody, just fucking move on. Don't. Was
it her that broke up with him? I can't remember. It was
she
her.
Broke.
Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
she broke up with him because she was pissed.
Oh, okay.
She was having a bad day. I think she like lost. Was it she lost and he got disqualified.
Oh, okay.
She lost. Or she was about to lose her spot, and she was just frustrated, and he just wanted to talk, and she just fucking blew up on him, and she's like, "Fuck you! I don't want to be with you. Fuck you!" And he's like,
"That's brutal."
Fine, and then dip, and then she comes back and is like, "Let's be together again." And he's like, "Fuck you." So, guys, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. Don't force it. You guys break up. Trust me, I've been through that. Break up, get back together. It doesn't work out in the end.
Yeah.
It's you're not different people.
No.
You're the same. You're gonna you grow together, whether you grow apart or you grow towards each other or whatever. Grow apart. Grow apart.
I don't
Anyways,
know what you mean right
so
now. My brain's
like I know. So it's either you stay when you're together, you're trying to grow together.
Yeah.
But you break up because you grew apart.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Whether you acknowledge it, whether you realize it or not, the reason why you broke up is because you're not going in the same direction.
Well, essentially that's what it was. It's like if you were so angry that you want to break up with the person, obviously like there was something there and that you weren't in the like
I'm sorry. Wait. If someone gets pissed off at me, we'll say
like I get pissed off at you all the time.
If you came up to me and like I want a fucking divorce right now, that's not I don't want, you know what I mean? Like I'd be like, okay, if that's your final answer, you want a divorce, that's it, it's over. We're getting the fucking divorce papers and we're never gonna see each other again. That's how it's gonna be. Because but
there's kids involved.
You can't, I don't give a fuck. If I'm gonna take the kids, that's it. No, we're not getting divorced, don't worry. My thing is like, if you get so pissed to the point where you tell your significant other, I want to split up. Yeah. That means there was an underlying issue that you had with the other person that this triggered that reaction. Because there's no way in hell that if you love somebody and you don't want to break up with them, that you're going to bring up, like, you're going to say it out of anger.
Instead, the angry person should be like, I'm mad right now. And I just need some time. So if you wouldn't mind, I'm just going to go to my room. You couldn't even be like, fuck off right now. I don't want to fucking talk to you right now. And then walk away. Well, that's essentially what I mean. I know. I'm just saying, because you can say it in a nice way. I'm just saying it in a mean way. Yeah, but I'm just saying that's anyway. Whenever I speak mean to you though, like you get mad at me. Yeah. So why would you say it in a mean way? I'm just saying you can say it in a mean way. I didn't want to because that's not how I speak to you. I'm not saying you're not. I am talking how I would speak to you. So if I'm mad at you, actually I don't talk to you. I just like stick my nose up in the air and walk away, and then go to the room and hide out. Okay, anyways, if you break up, that's it. Just move on. Don't fuck around. Don't bother. Don't waste your fucking energy. Just move the fuck on. It's not worth it. And if you're in a relationship and you don't want to break up and you're mad, just respect. Like all you need to do is respect the person. If you don't want to talk to them, don't talk to them. Come back in a couple minutes and be like, I'm ready to decompress. Can we have a conversation? If they don't want to break up with the person, they're not going to bring it up. Well, it's simple as that. Even if you're angry and you're not going to. I'm just saying. Anyways, fuck it. Fuck that bitch. Fuck that asshole. We still like her though. If you want to break up, you break up. That's it. It's over. Move on. Go to the next one. Don't fucking bother. So, anyways, there's a part. Things got heated. So there's a part. So this is. I'm sorry. Because I was just reading my notes. This goes back to when they were forcing her to
to go up a weight class.
Okay.
We'll finish in, like after this, and then you can go to sleep. Is one of the things, and I hate it because it's in our culture too, and it's in like a lot of cultures. But when she was talking to her coach, and they were trying to bring her up a weight class, and she was going through her shit. Her dad is sick, right? And he's getting dialysis and all that stuff. So he was mad because she was doing shit that she wasn't doing. She was still fighting and she didn't want to do it. And then he passes out because he needs to go get dialysis, but he kept refusing. But he
doesn't want to because he's like, if you're not going to do what you're supposed to be doing, I'm not going to do what I'm supposed to be doing. That's very childish.
Yeah. And he's like, if my daughter doesn't want to respect me, I'm not going to listen to her, kind of thing, right? So he passes out, goes to the hospital, whatever. So afterwards, her coach talking to her, and she's like, her line is the line, okay, straight from it. It's like, you should be good to your father. After telling her, okay, that this is what her father thinks is best for you, so you should be good for your father, to your father. Meaning, do what we fucking tell you to do, because we're fucking elders, and if your fucking parent says you should do this, then you should do it, even though you're a fucking adult. Anyways, so this is where it pisses me off. Okay?
As a rebellious teenager, my eyes just rolled right to the back of my head.
And like, this is where it pisses me off, because like, as much as like my dad was a fucking dictator, I still had a lot of freedom. Yeah. Okay. But he still had that mentality, the same mentality. This is very Arab, Asian, Middle Eastern mentality, where it's like very old school, where you should your parents know better, and you should or even like she says, you should be good to your father. If your parents say you should do this, you should be good to them and do that. It's like, no, I'm sorry, that's not how this works. My life is my life. My parents' life is their life. Okay, and the way that this works is that I'm gonna end up taking care of my parents, right? Yeah. Right. My parents took care of me growing up, and then I get old enough, I'm going to take care of my parents, right? That's the whole thing, right? And so, that's the whole thing, right? That's the whole
Arab and old school mentality.
That's the whole every mentality, like Middle Eastern, everybody, everywhere, right?
Here they don't give a shit about anyone.
There's a difference because anyways, we're not getting that. So, from our culture, from the Asian culture, it's parents take care of the kids till they get a certain age. The parents are old. The kids take care of the parents. That's how it should be. Yeah. Right? And that's fine. That's fine. Because your parents are going to get to a point where they can't take care of themselves. Someone's got to take care of them. That's cool. But don't go and be like, oh, be good to your parents and do what your parents say when you're growing up. Or like, not even growing up. When you're an adult, you're 20 years old. You should be able to do shit on your own. So it's like, oh, go up a weight class because your dad said you should. Be good to your father while he's still around. It's like, no, because if my dad actually really truly cared,
he'd ask me
my opinion, but he would let me do what I feel is more comfortable for me. Yeah, right. Exactly. And then we'd have a discussion instead of you guys forcing me to do something that I don't want to do. Yeah. Right. So when this kid gets to like 20, okay. And he doesn't want, we'll say, and he all of a sudden wants to become a fucking violinist for God knows what reason. Go get yourself a fucking violin and play. I'm not going to say no, keep doing what you're doing. Or if he's like, let's say he has his own fucking, his scooter business, okay? He has his little scooter business. He's like, I don't want to do
random examples.
I don't want to do this anymore. I want to be a violinist. Okay. I'm not going to be like, no, you should continue your business because that's what you should be doing right now. Yeah. As your father, that's what you should be doing. Yeah. No, you want to fucking quit your scooter business? Sell it off. Go buy a violin. Go get lessons. Yeah. That's it. That's simple. Do what it is that you want to do. Do not use... And this is what pissed me off about the coach. It's like the coach, do not use the parent as an excuse to the child. Yeah. The child, first of all, as an adult, can make their own decisions.
But see, they don't see that there. Because it's 20
They
years
don't
old.
see it here either.
Yeah.
It's not, even in our culture, they don't see it. You can be fucking 35 years old as an Arab, 35-year-old. They'd be like, oh, you're not married, you're not a fucking doctor, you're not a lawyer, you're nothing, go away.
But look at our culture though. Like look at how men and women that still listen to their parents all the time, and like, oh, you should live here until you get married, or you should live here until you're 30, 40 years old.
Right.
And it's like, you're 30, 40 years old, you're still bringing guys or girls home to like mostly guys would bring girls home to their house. Then there's, I'm not saying there's something wrong with you, but it just, like, maybe you're saving up for a house, like you moved out and like you're moved back in, you're saving up for a house. We'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
I'm not giving any benefit of the doubt. You could be 35 years. You can be 35, 40 years old living with your parents. As long as that's your fucking choice. As long as you're helping around the house, as long as you're helping your parents and you're living at home, that's fine. That's fine. No.
Just don't listen to them.
Listen. Yeah. If your parents are like, no, you can't move out until you're married.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You can stay here. Like, I'm going to live here because I want to live with you guys. I'll give you guys money for help you with the rent and groceries or whatever. That's fine. 100%. Yo, you can be 55 and you can do that. That's fine.
Yeah.
As long as you're as if you're living in your own place and you're paying rent, you're paying this, you know what I mean? You're putting in like the effort. You're going to take care of your parents. You take your parents around, whatever. That's fine. Okay.
Or like, so you have a friend that him and his brothers still live together with their parents,
and they all bought a house,
but they all bought a house together, which is amazing. And like, usually their parents would leave to a different country for months at a time, which kind of gives them the freedom. But it's like that. See, I understand that,
but it's like, remember, it's well, like I said, like,
it's such a cultural thing.
It's like,
so hard to because like.
So I know you are like, oh, you're 35 and you're living at home. Oh my god, you're such a loser. Ha 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 ha.
No.
Okay, no, but listen. So if you're 35, if he's 35 and he's living at home still,
better be saving up for
it better be by
house.
his. It's like, it's not. We're keeping him there. He better be here because he wants to be here.
Yeah.
He better be like. You're 35. You pull your fucking weight around the house. Yeah. Okay. By choice, not us telling you as like a, treating you like a child.
Still treating you like a teenager that needs to like pick up after themselves.
So stop. Don't start. Like you're an adult, acting as an adult. Yeah. You have bills to pay your bills, you help around, whatever. That's fine. But if you're fucking living at home,
get an in-law suite.
Because your parents like don't you're not allowed to move out until you get married. Get the fuck out of my face. No, that's not how this works. If you're living at home by choice, cool. I'm cool with that. But if you're living at home because your parents like, no, you shouldn't be you should only move out when you're married, and you tell me that and you're still living at home, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Either get married or get yourself a fucking house. Like, get out of here. Like, if you're like, no, because usually the people who are like, those who are like, okay, you're not leaving until you're married, they don't do shit around the house. They're babies. They don't clean. They don't cook. They don't pay their fucking rent. They don't pay for food. They're still a child.
Yeah, and then they get married, and their wives are like, "What did I marry? A child?"
Husbands too, huh?
Yeah.
Husbands the same thing. Like
yeah, but see, when you marry a girl,
don't even fucking start, huh? Don't fucking start. This is a genderless thing, huh? Guys and girls are the exact same at this point. Male or female, whatever the fuck you are, if you're living at home until you're 35, you're 40 years old, until your parents tell you you're not allowed to move out until you're married, and then you get married, regardless of what gender you are, your significant other is be like, what the fuck did I get myself into? Yeah. Marrying someone who doesn't know how to fucking cook, clean, or clean up after themselves, and fucking take care of themselves, and fucking like pull their weight around a fucking relationship. Same shit. Anyways, holy fuck. Okay, I think that's it for today.
Woohoo!
Let's just end it there.
Yeah.
We'll be back again next week, hopefully. I got a special. I'm trying to work on something right now. Trying to get people together for one.
It's just
for
hard
a special
around
episode.
timing.
Yeah, timing's really bad right now.
Yeah.
But
hopefully soon. Hopefully before
soon.
the end of the year.
I hope so. I really want to before the end of the year. It'd be so much fun because I want to do more
Christmas
of it.
Time.
Oh, maybe.
Anyways,
That's true.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon. Bye.